What's up, guys? It's Dazz here, but you don't really care, as last episode we were talking all about the past, and today I want to talk about the future. And I've actually noticed, looking at all this, looking at this piece of paper, pretty much all of my topics either relate to YouTube, they either relate to film, or they relate to, like, me directly. So, really tells you where my interests lie, huh? YouTube and film. And I guess university as well, that's on there too, but I'm sure we'll come to that in the next few episodes. For now, let's go to Right Side Down Galaxy. Alright, so talking about the future, I don't actually know specifically what I was talking about. I wrote this like a couple days ago, so I guess I was in a completely different train of thought. I don't know why I'm going for this button. It does great. I did coins that I'm not even going for. What a waste of time. Don't kill me. I hate you so much. Oh, you don't. Oh yeah, I forgot the gravity doesn't turn automatically. Really? Like, was that really necessary? Okay. So, talking about the future of YouTube. How's that for something? Like, oh god, this is really hard. This is really hard to do when I'm trying to like plan out. See, this is why I'm used to talking sporadically, because then it's more clear in my head, whereas when I'm trying to structure a conversation of a specific topic, it's harder to do. So, let's try this anyway, because I have no other option, and I wanted to make this more sort of a different commentary style. If this doesn't work too well, I probably end up going back to my normal style and then never change. That's how it's going to be. Hey, change! That's a good segue for the future of YouTube. Ooh. So, yeah, okay, change. How about let's talk about the algorithm of YouTube and what does well and what doesn't. Remember back in the day when we used to have, what was it, like art and animation was really like popular, and then it was, what was it, at the time YouTube's algorithm was set to what has the most views is what gets publicized more. And then the problem with that was, while, you know, animators like Ego Raptor and, let me think, Oni, Rice Pirate one? Probably. You know, all those people, you know, they could have, you know, they thrived in that sort of community of having that sort of animation, and then suddenly it stopped because there were people like Reply Girl. Oh god, remember the Reply Girls? They completely just ruined YouTube with their thumbnails, and oh, that was a fun time. But then they ended up changing the algorithm because of, well, presumably because of that, and probably other factors as well. And then they ended up making it, what was it, minutes watched. And that's what made Let's Playing so popular. Yeah, I wonder if, like, with that idea, what do you think is going to change next, if there is even going to be any change? Do you think there's going to be another change? Because it's disappointing how animators don't get as popular as they used to be. Because I was really into the animating stuff. Like, I didn't do it myself because me drawing is horrible. But I was really interested in watching that sort of stuff. And now, since it's not as profitable, it's harder to do as a job, so it's less common, which is a shame. But what do you think's going to happen next? That's my question. Do you think Let's Playing is going to stay as the most popular thing? I mean, does minutes watched actually work? I guess it sort of does, but then if you make short videos, then that's not very good, is it? And then even then, if you make videos too long, people aren't going to watch much of it. So you've got to find a perfect balance, really, without upsetting people. Have I made a mistake? I remember this thing giving me a lot of trouble, and I don't remember how you're supposed to do it. Can I? No, I can't even look down. Okay. Triple jump to that. Like, no, that didn't work. Can I get on that? Hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is really confusing. No, that's not an option, huh? No. Oh, I know. Oh, long jump. That's my trick. Sorry. Talking about the game. Confused it. Wow, that did not work at all. Back triple jump. Oh, God, this is hard. Okay. That should really work. That really should work. Okay. Do it at a stronger angle. That's too strong of an angle. That wasn't even aiming for it. Ugh, that's not working. I don't know how you're supposed to do this. Huh? I'm really confused. Okay, let's see if I can get on this wall then properly. If I do a double jump maybe? Or no? No? I remember, I think I did this out of luck in my practice. Whoa! Was that how I was supposed to do it? Because that was weird. Well, alright, I'll take that. What do you think is going to be the next thing of YouTube? You think Let's Playing is going to be another thing? That's my question, I guess, of the day. Even though that was really supposed to be a conversation topic, but I don't really know where else to go with that, so I'm going to leave it at that. Although, actually, I do have something to talk about with the sort of future of YouTube, and that is, I actually planned, or maybe am still planning, to do other channels in the future with different stuff. A lot of them sort of need skills that I don't have at the moment, and probably won't have for a long time, so I can probably just talk about them now. I was considering making a music channel, even though I have almost no musical talent right now. If I had like a gap year, because, you know, for all those of you that don't know, this September I'm going to university straight away from high school, or college, or whatever you call it. I'm not taking a gap year, is my point, and mainly because I can't afford it. I mean, you know, not gonna lie, my family's financial situation is not favourable. But I can say that, you know, if I did have a gap year, I would probably like to learn a lot of different skills, actually. There's lots of things I wish I could do that I can't. Like, if I had a gap year off, I would probably, for one thing, I'd like to try and get into, like, drawing, so, like, draw, like, 3 things a day, and then hopefully get into the habit of getting better. I'd also, what else would I want to do? I'd like to learn a language. That's probably more of, that would be better if you actually went to the, like, surrounded yourself in the country, in the language, and then you sort of learnt quicker, because I feel like that would be more, I feel like that's more efficient. You know, if you're surrounded by the language, you'll sort of pick more things up more quickly, because you're using it constantly for, like, 6 months or something. As opposed to the education system where I was taught French, just taught how to speak French since like year 5, and I know nothing now, but that might have been also because no one else in my class was interested in learning it, so I sort of adopted that motivation. I don't know. And also because my hearing's weird, so like when I took my last French hearing, like, listening tests in for GCSE, I remember I was in the main hall, and actually it was called the theatre, but for whatever reason, like, the speakers that you had to listen to, well, I guess actually it was the best room, but the speakers had a slight echo to them, because the way the room was structured, there was a slight echo. When there's an echo on a language you can barely understand, it doesn't help. I don't know how anyone got anywhere with it, but I think I got a D, so that was a fail, and I never got the English baccalaureate because of that. But I mean, I wasn't really going for it. Well, I say I wasn't going for it. I chose my GCSEs around, like, to sort of motivate the English baccalaureate, because, you know, it was like, oh, I don't really know what else to go for, so I'll go for this in case I get another award. But, oh well, I missed the English baccalaureate by 1 grade in 1 subject, which is a shame. But yeah, if I was surrounded by the language for a few months, I could probably really get into it. Although French is kind of a boring one to learn, because it's just, I don't know, it doesn't interest me, and I don't really plan to go to France long term ever. I'd more like to learn something like, Japanese sounds interesting, though apparently that's like super hard, so, oh! Didn't know that was an option. Huh. Probably Japanese would be something I'd want to learn, or, I don't know, anything that's not really nearby to England, because the ones near England aren't very interesting. Sorry if you're from that place and you speak that language, but yeah. But yeah, also if I had a gap year, there'd just be loads of things I'd want to learn. And the big one, obviously, that I'm surprised I haven't mentioned yet, is I'd want to learn a bunch of different instruments. At the moment, I can play piano and, like, one note on a guitar. We'll say it's a note. I'm sure that's what they're called, right? Sure. I mean, they're called notes on piano, so why not anywhere else? And yeah, I would probably, like, if I had the time, I would love to learn all these different instruments, and I'd love to have made a YouTube music channel. The way I would have done it sort of would have been, sorry about that, my cat was making such a ruckus that I thought someone was in the house, or at least maybe even in the room, trying to get my attention. It was weird. I didn't know I was that paranoid, but I guess it just, I don't know, it sounded like someone was, like, not exactly saying my name, but it sounded like someone was moving the floorboards. I didn't know my cat's not even that heavy or fat. Oh well. Also, I'm not sure if I've mentioned the name of my cat yet, but people generally quite like the name of my cat, so I'm going to say it. The name of, oh god, I'm dead. The name of my cat's actually Buttons. People like that name for some reason. Buttons. That's what I was talking about. It was the music video, or music channel I wanted to make. The idea I wanted to do for that was it would be like a sort of, it would almost have its own little story where like each episode or each video would have like almost a mini sort of like, a mini movie scene sort of thing where like you sort of get into the context of how like the main person's making the music, and basically the idea was the guy would probably be me or something, like, because I doubt I'll have many other people to join me. It would be me hopefully learning a bunch of different instruments from like a video game song, because yeah, we'll do video game stuff in case you couldn't tell. And oh my god, I can't do this. Why am I flat? No, I guess that makes sense, I'm on that ledge. But the idea was, and this is hard. It's hard to tell stories when you're trying to look for stuff, isn't it? I never realized. But the idea was that the guy would have a ring that would clone himself to make other versions of him, so then he could play multiple instruments at once. And I'd like, you know, like I'd like to learn things like the violin. Oh, that's the main one probably. The violin and the trumpet and the saxophone. I mean, you've heard how much I gush about the music in video games, so if only I could find a series where I could actually play the stuff. And then I'd also like to make it where, like, maybe with like green screen or whatever fun stuff I can imagine is. What's this camera doing? Like, make it so it's almost in context with the game. Maybe it's like constantly referencing the game. Like maybe, I don't know, like, if I did like Paper Mario video, the people would be made out of like a 2D paper sort of style. Now this, I remember the green star. I remember exactly where it is. Go here, go here. Why did you stop? I was holding left. That's so weird. Okay, I'll try that again in a minute. But the idea was that the guy would clone himself, play music, and it was sort of it would be in context with the music. So it's basically like video game music as a music video sort of thing. That's what I'm trying to go for. Maybe people are dressed up in cosplay. It's all sort of moldy. It's all sort of in my head how it works, and it might not make sense to most other people, but that's what I envisioned it to be. And if I ever get around to getting the musical talent and the time, and I probably won't be able to until I'm like 24, if that, then, you know, if I'm lucky, if I ever get around to doing it, maybe that's a thing you'll see of me in the future. Of course, there may be other channel ideas I'd want to do, and I'm just looking around the corner here, because in case you couldn't tell, you can get onto this big thing and get one-ups on each corner. I'm not going to waste any more time doing that. I'm after this little thing here. Which, is that actually how I'm supposed to get it? I feel like I think I was supposed to jump on... No, that's what I was trying to do, and it wouldn't let me. That's mean. Oh no, I guess I do have to get it from here, because it's upwards. And I can't go in first person, huh? Can I get these star bits? Yes! Thank you. Right, now let's go get this green star, shall we? Aim yourself well. What? Why would that happen? I guess you aren't supposed to do it that way, but oh well. Yeah, there you go. A future idea I wanted to do for a YouTube channel. Oh god. I just realised, speaking of my other YouTube channels, I just remembered I had a channel that uploaded videos before the time of Dazz Reviews, which started in like, not September, it started in 2012, so, you know, that sort of, wait, have I done all three? No, I haven't, I've done two. We'll do this last one here then. I remember doing videos back then. That must have been, it was at the time of Black Ops, so I was in year 9, so I would have been, how old would I have been? Not 8, that's completely backwards, the other way. 14! 14? 13! I was 13! Oh god, 13. I didn't want to talk when I was 12, I did when I was, well, I didn't when I was 13. But basically, when I was 13, I was into the Call of Duty fandom stuff, yeah? And I made Call of Duty videos. And actually, other stuff too. I did a bit of Left 4 Dead. I did, what else did I do? I did Halo Reach for a little while. That was probably a couple years later, but yeah, I just remembered I did that. Oh, it was horrible. I sort of wanted to go for a Kraken feel. You know, how he did his whole Left 4 Dead 2 and Left 4 Dead 1 series of just like funny stuff, and how he didn't talk but he showed up in text. That's sort of what I was going for, sort of thing. I wanted to be the next Kraken, because I'm just oozing originality. And they were very, very poorly done, like very bad. Just, oh, god awful, very cringeworthy. And yeah, that was, glad that's over. But I think like It lasted for about 1 year and 3/4. I heard a tingling and it's gone now. Hold on, I'm going back. I can hear a faint tingling. Oh, I remember now why. Because I've gone past it, that's why. Oh, I'll come back to it later. We'll do the next one. Don't boo laugh at me, dry bones. Oh well, but yeah, I made really horrible stuff, and while I could tell you what the channel was, you won't find anything because about, I think, a month or 2 into doing Dazz reviews, I deleted all the stuff. I actually was still making the stuff when I started my first video on Dazz reviews. You know, I guess at the time of doing the actual thing, you know, I was always interested in Call of Duty stuff, and that was the most popular stuff, so obviously I went for that. And then, this is far too late in the thing, I gotta go back. But yeah, back to the looking at the channel thing. I'm going right back to the beginning, by the way. Yeah, it's just, I had really bad quality stuff, and I remember the whole thing lasted 1 year and 3/4, but about a year into it, maybe. Yeah, about a year into it, I ended up actually getting my microphone, because, you know, for the longest time I didn't, and then it was just a matter of, just making text where I would talk and trying to make funny stuff. It was horribly, horribly bad. But then I finally got my mic, started doing, oh god, I remember now. Now that I had a mic, I could use my voice. Now I could have just continued doing the Criken thing, you know, with my voice this time, but I didn't. What I decided to do was do those good old, generic Call of Duty commentaries. Oh god. I also did one on Battlefield 3? Was it? No, it was Battlefield 3. God, wait, no, it might have been. Yeah, I think it was. Oh Jesus, that's late. But yeah, and then I was still into it when I started Dazz reviews. It was, oh, that was it. I was so into the Call of Duty thing because it was popular, and then I started going back into Nintendo stuff. I don't know what sparked. Oh, I know what sparked it. I was watching, I think it was Rooster Teeth, and they had done, I don't know what they'd done. Maybe it was like a video related to Super Mario Sunshine. But then I looked in the suggestions, and I saw Chugga Conroy's, one of his videos. I think it might have been like the first or second finale video of that, where he was in Mount Corona, I think it was. Mount Corona, that was it. And there was just a bunch of failure in it, and it was like, you know, on a montage, and I found it entertaining, but for whatever reason, I thought he was part of another group. I thought he was another Rooster Teeth, so I wanted to I watched more of his channels to try and find out who the other people were in his little group called Chugga Conroy. And then, with that, I realized it was just him, and then I looked through his Pikmin 2 series, and I was like, whoa, I don't remember this, I remember this, and then I guess I just got into the Nintendo thing, and then I found an E3 Nintendo 2012 thing in his presentation, and then I saw the little trailer thing for Pikmin 2, and Pikmin 3, and then my mind was blown. I looked up analyses for it, and then I was like, wait, there isn't any analyses for it, and then I made it myself, and then everything was good from there. And then a month or 2 later, I deleted all the other stuff on that other YouTube channel, the Call of Duty stuff. It was horrible, but unfortunately, what is a shame though is because I deleted all the stuff, even on my computers or my laptop at the time, I can't even like go. I'd love to have kept them and like, or at least privatized them or something, and then I could watch them back later and just hate myself. But also, where's the other star? That's one. Well, I'm sure it's this way. But yeah, I would have loved to have watched over it again, like watched my old videos that were horribly bad, but they're now gone forever, which is partially a shame, but partially not. And for those of you wondering what my channel was, oh god, I remember, oh god. It was, and this would probably only work for long-time fans, but there was, actually it might be one of my subscriber specials for Dazz reviews, also I found the green star, that I basically linked to when I'd done a McDonald's advert. And that McDonald's advert is on a channel that specifically shows it, and that channel, oh that's a shame. The channel that I have that shows that video is the channel that used to have Call of Duty stuff on it. It's all deleted now. It's called Dazz. Except it's not Dazz. It's X space Dazz X, or space X. Most generic Xbox Call of Duty username. Oh, I hate it so much. But actually, I still use that channel a little bit. Not for much. I just... Whoops, that's my paper gone. I've done it again! I did the same mistake last... Oh my god. Hold on, again. This is what happens when you're trying to talk about a story and you're not looking at what's going on in the game. God, I can't believe how people do this where they tell stories all the time. I can't do it. Wow. I can't do this anymore, suddenly. But... yeah, I do still use the channel slightly, while there's only one public video on it, and I'm looking around for the star now. Don't worry, I won't make the same mistake again. I'm actively looking for it on this planet. I will take no stars. But what I do is I have unlisted videos of it on for whenever I do drama performances, and I have to do projection work, and I have to like edit those videos and make them for projections on the back of the screen. I actually do that, so like... yeah, so it's so I can like show it off to other people to see what they think of it at the time, and yeah, it's general just fun stuff. No, it's down here, isn't it? Where is it? I can't see it! That's not fair! There we go. Finally. But yeah, that's what I use it for. I also actually have bloopers of when I'm trying to record, like sometimes for projections, people are recording scenes and they've got lots. I've got a blooper montage on that, but I'll probably never publicize it. But yeah, that channel's probably also going to be in the description now. Who'd have thought? Even the people that do mildly successful have a deep, dark path. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to end it off here. So for now, my name's been Dazz. You didn't really care, and I'll see you in a bit. Oh, what kind of physics are these? Oh, had to really fight that one. I like that. Although Luigi's shadow sort of cuts off his head. It's all Luigi's Mansion all over again. I like that. Oh, do you get on the thwomp and get it? Maybe not. Oh wow, what was going on there? Oh, you can get up like this. Wow, okay.